Among the patriots and Kremlin invaders, there is panic. The devils were scared out of their wits by the elimination of yet another war criminal. And not just anyone, but a whole lieutenant general, and not just anywhere, but right in the center of Moscow.
This happened here, on Ryazansky Prospect in Moscow at around 6 o'clock in the morning. The improvised explosive device went off as Lieutenant General Kirillov and his aide were leaving the entrance of this building. It is reported that the bomb was attached to or built into an electric scooter parked by the entrance.
The disposal of imperial riffraff is proceeding steadily, but until now, it was mainly war instigators like Kiva, Dugina and Tatarsky, or mid-level executioners like the head of the Yelenovka colony, who was sent on the Mortar to Hell Express.
Everything will be just the way we like it.
It's the military branch chief. He rode a scooter after meeting Putin.
What is this really? They've lost their minds, you know?
This general, who was responsible for the use of chemical weapons, was an absolutely legitimate target. And that especially frightened the orcs. An active general is eliminated in the capital of a warring state-a-state, where every third person is a security agent and every second is an informant, where children take an oath to the FSB from first grade.
Today, students of the 1st and 5th grades at Capital School number 1 took a solemn oath.
The first graders, in fact, are just out of kindergarten.
By the way, these are the first cadet classes at Syktyvkar School number 1. However, the school plans to continue developing this movement.
It became clear that none of them can feel safe anywhere. As usual, Dmitry Medvedev smashed a beer bottle over his head and jumped into the chat. You won't believe it, but he again threatened retribution and declared all NATO officials and journalists legitimate targets for calling the elimination of General Kirillov legitimate.
Oh my God, what a...
If Europe weren't so corrupted by its love of peace, several megatons would have already been dropped on Moscow for such statements from an official, because this can only be seen as a declaration of war on NATO. And threats to kill journalists are nothing but terrorism. I'll come to Bruzevka. I'll just mess up your cabin. The UK Foreign Office called Medvedev a bandit. Thanks to his humiliated status, Dimka the Glass saved Russia from direct conflict with West. Simply because no one takes Medvedev seriously.
But if even one more distillery is harmed, do you hear me? One more attack on a distillery, and we'll respond with nukes.
Even in Russia itself, Medvedev is considered a laughingstock. Only the lazy haven't trolled him. Propagandist Telegram channels literally exploded with posts about hopelessness and total fear. Or Princess Anastasia Koshevarova snapped her keyboard in hysteria. Not the first time, she wrote. Dugin was blown up in Moscow, Tatarsky in St. Petersburg. There were attacks and murders of military in Moscow and the region. Enemy drones reached Grozny, Novorossiysk, Saratov, Moscow, Bryansk, Kaluga, and more. In Ulyanovsk, railway tracks are blown up.
How frightening it is to live.
But the imperial ladies and gentlemen thought they could attack another country with impunity, kill, destroy, call for genocide and the annihilation of an entire people. Why didn't the Russians listen to Dudayev? He warned them not to mess with the Ukrainians. They will always take revenge and never stop.
And I can assure you, until those responsible for the tragedy, the senseless slaughter, the cruelty, the cynicism that breeds irreparable evil on this earth are punished and feel, as well as their followers, the inevitability of punishment for their crimes, Russia's misfortunes will only grow with every passing hour.
A real self-propelled fear has begun in the swamps. All the canned Kivas have finally realized that no one is going to protect them. If they couldn't save an entire general close to Putin, then no one will even remember some Z-bloggers.
It's scary, really scary.
We don't know what this is. If we knew what it was, we don't know what it is.
Concerned, these Vatniks and Putinists looked for someone to blame. Kremlin's claim that it's evil Ukrainians, CIA-led no longer satisfies anyone. The Z-Patriots looked for scapegoats within the Kremlin. Koshevarova wrote lines that could land her in a nearby place. If it's money, not safety, fixed fast. She covers General Arkik's murder. She may expect arrest, since a cell is safer than the streets.
You're welcome to our humble abode.
Gherkin supporters criticize Odessa catacombs. Quote, "It feels after reading critics of the Putin power system who spent years writing about its uselessness, officials have agreed they are incapable of anything. So they don't bother hustling for the client. They're waiting for everything to fall apart."
I walk and think, God, I wish I were already at Vagankovskoye. I just can't take it anymore, you understand?
From love to hate, one scooter. Once Putin was president of the world, and now Putin's officials compared to prostitutes. Know who Pinya meant in three-letter joke?
A little boy is solving a crossword puzzle and says, name a three-letter word. His mom whacks him on the forehead with a spoon. He says, for what? This is the house. The dad hits his wife. Think about the house.
Z-Patriots spitting authorities. They're shaken by endless Kremlin lies going according to plan, and goals of the special military operation are nearly achieved. Maybe Putin is an MI6 agent recruited in Germany who started the special operation to destroy Russian chauvinists, ruin the economy, and discredit the military.
You're right.
Then it really does explain why everything is going according to his plan.
Increased. That taxes have increasred.
The killing of the chemical general not only humiliated the Kremlin security services and scared the patriotic crowd, it has become interethnic strife in Russia. FSB immediately called a Uzbek the perpetrator. A wave of hatred against migrants began.
Anyone who treats the population of the Russian Federation poorly or disrespectfully faces only one fate. You can simply ask our enemies about it.
This happened amid Kadyrov's conflict with Head's Investigative Committee and Ministry Internal Affairs, who declared a crusade against non-Russians.
Discussed migrant issues in Moscow area. This is the capital region, 30 minutes from the Kremlin. And the residents were simply outraged by the lawlessness caused by migrants in Kotelniki. They complained about the authorities' inaction.
Russians don't care whom to hate. It's hard to get at Ukrainians. They take it out on newcomers from what they call brotherly republics.
This is a convenient category of people for the authorities whom you can always pin all the problems in the Russian Federation. What's also interesting is that Alexander Ivanovich Bastrykin said, let's make Russians happy. He used the word Russian.
The tension has reached where Z supporters expect a migrant uprising in Russia.
I believe that this policy is primarily characterized by the Kremlin's fear of migrants, whom it is truly unable to control. It's a pity my son is still at war. He needs to come back here and shoot those creatures.
The main thing is that all these annexes of ancestral lands Sarmat devotees, Putin worshippers, and just plain mercenaries without principles, those who kill and call for killing for money will now have to sleep with their eyes open and go outside already in a body bag so they don't have to change clothes twice.
I would like to remind you that this video is created for entertainment purposes and contains elements of satire and irony. All facts and events are presented in a hyperbolized or exaggerated form to convey a comedic or dramatic effect. Our goal is not to mislead, but to highlight humor. Please take it with a smile.